Hello, American. Welcome to another day of Timothy Green, Investment, Stock Market, and Bond School. Wow, what another day. I'm going to hit you up on one of these old videos on Bloomberry. Man, if there was an investment in the news, I would invest in Bloomberry. Trust me, I would. They got it going on. No matter how many mistakes they make, but they always on top. I can't wait. And we're going to go through this, and we're going to understand the market, how to make the right investment and not make the wrong investment. Because it means a lot to us, investment, important people that have a whole lot of wealth in an economy that makes the economy grow in the economy. Understand what I'm saying? If my words ain't clear and I'm not pronouncing it right, try to understand. I'm upset. I'm crying. I need my darn money. And the bank is playing hardball with me. And they don't have to, because understand, under the rate of these different banks, and when they take my money, the rate they charge us, you add that money up across the globe of these banks, and they talking about how much money it's going to be. You can understand why the market does what it does, what we want it to do. When the bank break the contract with the market, what the market supposed to do? It's supposed to read. It's supposed to count just like it pays. So when the money was paid under that portfolio and the bank breaking, is going to collect every dollar under the dollar in that portfolio of each and every item in the amount of money in the bank. Understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to screw you wrong. I want you to make the right and the best investment so we all can be wealthy. I don't want to be the only wealthy man in the world. It's too much money. If the treasurer stops stealing and pay me my money, I can help them, because they cannot use that money for their own investment because it's not theirs. They lost that. They got to do right. And then under that, I can give them what they want. Because if I sell them some or tell them they have to pay me back, it's going to keep on giving me more and more. I don't need that. All I need is my little bit of money that I invested in. With the license agency allowed me to invest. And when they did that and that money been paid for under them taxes, the bank's supposed to make sure I get my money. If they don't, with my broker, with my insurance, they have broke the contract. And with that, the market gonna take them for everything they got. So what you read of the high, be careful of the zero or low. Like I said, never invested high under zero. You don't understand what I'm talking about when they go through it and you see what I'm talking about. Understand what I'm saying, because it's a price to pay. When you have to pay that price, when the market start counting the amount of money that the bank is making for each and every item, and they ain't been paying, and they've been making all this money, and when it get to a certain amount, it drop under the red, under the death certificate of the zero, and they still have to count that. And the more they count, and the more they have to give under the dollar. I'ma shut up, and I want you, we're gonna listen to them. And they're gonna get these people, they thought they expert. It's like the engineer reader, and they've been reading it wrong, and that's why Whole lot of time it get hyped. Look at this. Look at this. See the red? It's already been counted. That's due. You see the green? It's about to be due when it's point down. That's how it's going to point down if it's in the green, because it's counting down. That's about to be due. You see the red? That's how much is under zero. You see the zero? Where the zero of the 11% is high. That's not high. That's not good. That's high under zero. That is a bad investment. That's why I say when you think it's good now and you invest it high under zero is not good. Look at this. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. It's in the negative. The high is in the red. How the high gonna be in the red? That's how much of money they have to pay under percentage, under the taxes from that just one idol, whichever idol that is. Let's go look and see what it is. And I can't get a clear picture of it. Well, you see it. And look. Soybeans, cotton, and wheat. An hour later, we get that's under that. And look what it is. And that's the plus that they gotta pay. That's the plus what they got to pay. That it doesn't add into the bank of their company how much they make for each and every company now. Understand what I'm saying? I can't tell you too much. I can't keep telling you now. You're gonna have to figure it out yourself. Because good investment don't give away the answer. But what I'm trying to do to make you understand the type of investment that you can make so you won't make the wrong investment. You go and you see that grade, oh, it's a high, it's a plus. That's just to count the way the market count. It's going to fall sooner or later. And when it falls, and it can be like next year or a couple months from now. But guess what? You make that investment under that high rate, that under the taxes of that percentage. You can spend the money. They're gonna pay you. The market ain't gonna cheat you. But understand, when you got to pay your taxes, if you don't have a job, if you do, they add that. The market add that taxes. It's in under the treasurer, and the treasurer already in trouble. If you gotta look at your tax when it's because you gotta understand the reason why it's going so slow. Because we decided we're not gonna have high taxes. Okay. If we're not going to have high taxes, now the job you're working on giving you all your money. So growth is still going to slow. So if you getting all your money and you're not paying so much taxes, how much you think supposed to come out? Same way with the market. The market is not taking too much under the dollar, but it's counting the dollars under the percentage that in the portfolio that it's going to take time to grow. Because it's not it's not a high dollar where though it's going to harm the dollar of the price of the dollar. It's underneath to add to price to get more to collect for the credit. I know what I'm doing. Understand what I'm saying. So let's forget about that and let's just read it, because your job is to make the right investment. Going back to May, you can see the biggest potential back-to-back losses on the NASDAQ of the year. Is this a reset moment, or is this basically the one drawback that people are going to get, that everyone's going to swoop in and buy? I think that'd probably be a bit too optimistic. I think a lot of it is how the market, or really where expectations were at the beginning of the year, when it was just all this talk about the recession and the slowdown. The last place you wanted to be with equities, and that's clearly turned out not to be the case. That's now plus. That the market swung to be much they got to add because they're making a lot of money under the dollar. The dollar collects from the dollar when it pays for itself, and it's got to take its time to collect. And they was making a whole lot of money, so that's why it dropped, and it's under negative of what they have to pay. Like I said, high under zero is not good. In anticipation of what you expect to be a tumultuous end of the year?
We've already gone underweight on the U.S. I don't think the expectation is necessarily to increase the underweight. I think we're pretty happy with that right now, and just really looking for the overweight that we have in Asian and China to materialize. And given the data that we've had recently that you guys were discussing, it may not come immediately, but we're still optimistic that it will materialize.
Know why? Because it's on one portfolio. If it was 10 people or 20 or 30 people in that same portfolio under the same thing, they would be crying. They would be hiding because it's only one person. Understand what I'm saying? Even if it's just 10 people with one of the portfolio or 20 people with two of them portfolios in that portfolio. Understand what I'm saying? You know, that's where the market does its own counting. It knows who you are. It knows your portfolio. Because understand, when you go and invest and you get to your application with your license agency, you have to put your ID in it. It's there. And because it's there, and they go through, and they know you made a perfect portfolio, otherwise they would have told you so. But understand something. Once it hit that bank and it been paid, and that bank doesn't give you your money, the market will. It would take everything they got. It would be your broker. It would be, that's a broker is a lawyer. Understand what I'm saying? It would be your insurance. The insurance of your broker is your lawyer or your broker. And if they break the contract, the market by itself got your back. So you ain't got to worry about none of all that. You ain't got to worry about none of all that. They can say what they want. Oh, that's not real. Oh, that's a coupon. But the market going to say, hell no, this is price. This is investment of important people on our flow. So y'all can't try that bullshit. Understand? So you break the contract with your employee or your investment of your client. Hell, I might as well take everything you got. I'm taking it all. Because you can't take his investment of his portfolio and put it on somebody else's that is not there. It's like a fingerprint when the police take you down to the station and fingerprint you and put it in the machine. It's there to stay, and don't you forget it. And that's how that is with that. Understand what I'm saying? You can't get away from the market. The market ain't gonna bullshit you. Too many important investment for that. Too many important people with big money than these companies. Don't you know? Let me explain something to you. Don't you know you have some investments still out there that started when they was young, that they couldn't invest because they was too young, but they just study it until they got the proper certain age, and all they do is invest, and they don't do nothing else but invest. And then you got some who invest that own company, big company, like airplanes, like boats, like ships, and you got some just own ships that across the globe, a whole lot of them, and they invested. I'm talking about very important people. Understand what I'm saying? To help the market move. So when you have a licensed investment and they invested in you to make an investment, and you make a perfect greater investment, they got your back. Whether you know it or not, they're going to let the money roll. They're going to sit back and laugh and say, well, see what these fools are doing. Hey, that's just the way it is. This is why we call it investment. And when you invested in the market, hey, I gave you too much already. But understand, I'm not telling you what to invest in. I'm trying to show you where the needle moves, how it collects and do what it do. It doesn't matter what these engineer read, because sometimes when your head is swelled up and it get too big, you begin to look over the little thing. You don't know how to speak with the little people into the investment to help them to understand how does the market work with the investment.
Then it started to fade as Mary Daly started to speak. And
Look
in the
at
afternoon,
this.
we had a pretty
Look
soft
at
issue.
this. That red is counting down.
So
this green is already, how the green got being at 0. Come on now. It's, what's that? 96%, 0 points. Come on now. Look, 0 is counting down. 0 point. You want to see what it is? Okay, the data check. Come on, look how much money they don't collect already. The market don't collect. They still got a lot more to go. And these are different ones in the data. It's not the same one. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. It's not the same. It's the different amounts of money that it's got to collect. I'm talking about I'm helping you to understand how to make the right investment. Don't go thinking they are the same. They in the same category, but they in a different category of the market, of the prices. Like you go to the store, like you walk into the supermarket. Check it out. Check out the prices. Check out the gas. You know, like you go to the market, you want to buy that propane gas for barbecue, stuff like that. You go to the Lowe's, you check it out. How much it costs to track the trailer, the weight of stuff to bring it to the store. How many are them? How many trucks go there? We talking money, baby. Understand what I'm saying? Because my dollar gonna back every last one of them up. It's gonna drop because they ain't paid. And when they don't pay, the market gonna continue to take. Let's listen to him, what he's saying. And this is on the plus. It's making money, what they got to pay. Let's see what it's
a relatively rare situation. Right now, the U.S. is a high yielder, and market sentiment is very risk off. So you're a safe haven and a high yielder. That's a very powerful combination in the short term. And so we have to see some action on the yield side for the selling that the market wants to do to resume.
Stephen, in your research note, you go to 6-month annualized. I thought Jason Furman at Harvard led yesterday with an interesting idea of where to look for the rate of change of disinflation that's out there. I think the key question for our listeners and viewers is, when we move, does it take forever to shift to a disinflationary central bank, or will it be, to use the economic phrase, suddenly?
Suddenly, in the Hemingway sense of the word, first slowly, then very quickly. Look, I think that the Fed isn't going to give any order until it becomes clear that the U.S. economy is slowing. They really feel comfortable.
See how it point down?
And if they see some
it's counting money.
Market is weakening, along
you might say, oh, that's good. I'm going to invest now.
And rate cuts will very quickly come into the picture, not
warning
them
you
down to zero, but 25 here, 25 there.
Zero.
I think right now
it's not good.
They don't see the upside.
Because when you invest and it comes down, and you get paid the high taxes when you have to pay.
Last week, everyone was talking about political risk, fiscal risk, but suddenly that would matter
Understand
again
what
for
I'm
currency
saying.
traders. Has it?
Well, yes,
look,
but
it's in the negative.
Direction,
it's
think,
money
because,
due
look,
that is dropping. That's under zero. It's still counting under zero. High under zero is not good. Trust me what I'm saying. It's in the negative. If you see that zero is in the negative, if you do your math in school, and they say that track 1 from 1, and what you get? You get 0. Come on.
Looking in the wrong direction.
Listen,
yeah,
baby.
The U.S. isn't going to go bankrupt, it's always going to pay its coupons. But whether it pays
People
it with a
always
weaker
going
dollar
to
or
put
higher
their
inflation
money
is the
in
question.
the bank.
So some people are
You see what I'm
attributing
saying?
the recent rise in yields
But
to
the
this
market
idea of political
is
risk,
going to
fiscal
count
uncertainty,
a
or fiscal,
certain percentage
at
how
least
much
a
money they
largesse
make
when it comes to the debt.
under
People
that
say it's just a
portfolio.
story about the Bank of Japan. It's just a story about money flows
Not just in the
necessarily coming the
UA,
same way
across
from
the
that economy
globe.
based on yield
Remember
curve
my
control,
old
maybe being
video?
tweaked, maybe being
Across
abandoned.
the
Do you agree with
globe.
that?
Well, I agree
Bank
with the first and
transfer
second.
banks
There's nothing
across the
meaningful that
globe.
Bank of Japan
It
has done,
is what they
in
call
terms of limiting the flows
investment.
that they're putting into the
But
market.
check it out.
Basically
When
all
you
they've
talk
done is let
about
the yield
the
go up a little bit before
investment,
the rates.
you
I
investment
think,
in
if
with
you
the
look at
market
the
and
way
the
the market has been
stocks,
trading, given that there's
understand
no
it
real
is
shift in
bond
expectations of what the Fed is doing,
with the stock
it's now a
market.
risk premium, and it's
So
a risk
that is the
premium
whole
concentrated way up
market
the curve,
itself
which
of
tells
the
you that
investment
it's
of the
not
stock
a
market. So
specific
now it
immediate,
fall under the market.
retail sales, that's
So when the
problem.
bank
It says, look, we're worried
breaks the
about the distant future,
contract
and now we're pricing it in.
with the market,
And that's fiscal.
the market
Steve,
is
I
going
want
to
to
price it.
shift here, Segui, if I
And the
can, over
market
what
going to
traders are
count
looking at
all
this
the
weekend.
money they
We
making
just take out the dollar, euro
with
yen
the
is
bank
extraordinary.
across the
158,
globe.
we had a 159 print.
It's going, the
As I walked
market
in the
is
door,
going to
this morning,
communicate
what are
with the
ramifications for
investment
Japan?
of the
The
other
Pacific Rim,
investment
if we see
market
euro yen
across the
break out
globe.
to a
It's going to
160
count that money.
year yen.
It's going to
We're
count
right at the
that money.
precipice on the weekend. What's the so
It's
what
going to
here?
pay all the investment
Well, I think
that
there's
made the
chances
right
also
investment,
competitive
and the ones who
currency.
made the
So it will
wrong
have an impact
investment,
on
it's going to
rate
count
of
that
will
too.
have an impact
But the only
on China
thing
and
with
a
it,
few other
only
currencies.
thing with that, they just going to have a
I think
high
honestly
tax
there's a bit of
rate
puzzlement
that
as
they're
to
going to have to
what
pay
good a weaker yen can do
underneath
Japan,
that.
but
But
I
when the
think it
bank
sets the tone. The
takes
market would
someone
really like
money
to sell dollars
of an
against Asian
investment
currencies. And
of
we
the
think
market,
towards the end of the year,
the
that's what's going to
hands
happen, that the
that
risk
feed
environment will improve.
the
But it's very
investment
hard to
that
do
puts
as
their
long as
money
the
into these
yen against
banks.
the dollar and yen against the crosses are pushing
You
up against
understand
these
what I'm
levels.
saying?
I
So the
don't think the
market
market's trying to get
collects
too
that
short
money,
yen at this stage. They're short enough. I think it's more
what they
that they're
did
waiting to
for
see
what
some
they
sign that
didn't
there's
do, what they
stabilization
should
there,
have
maybe
had
a
done.
pullback,
Because the
and that would,
market,
and
when
plus
you
an
make
improvement in
the
the risk
right
environment,
investment
then the dollar
and
selling
the
would
market
resume. But
pays you,
I don't think it's going to happen
and
over
when the
this
market
weekend. I think
put
it'll
it
take a
in that
little bit of
bank,
time.
Steve, before you go,
and
just to
that
double
bank
confirm, triple
decide
confirm, you think the Fed's
it
done here?
wants to take advantage
yeah.
of you,
And I think there's a risk they cut faster
it's
than the
done
market
deal,
thinks
baby.
once the data starts
I don't
sliding.
give a darn what you say, how you
kind of
do
say,
it, how
what's the
you
point
dress
of
it up, or
labor
how you
market
want
this
to
week
cut
when
it.
inflation's coming
It's done
down?
deal, baby.
You've kind of
Under
won.
that
You don't cut,
perfect
you don't
portfolio,
cut very far, but
it's
you might
going to
throw in a
keep
token
on
cut,
counting. As
Q1
long
and
as I don't get the
show
money,
that your heart's in the
even
right
it
place.
goes to the
Token cut
treasure,
in Q1
and
to show
they
your
take
heart is in
money
the
out
right
the
place.
treasure
Steve, what
and give it
changed
to
from
other
12 months ago?
nation,
Yeah, but
it's going to count. That nation in the market going to count that money. Where's this money coming from? How do we get so wealthy? Ain't nobody over here. Where did this money come from? And the market going to tell on them. That came from the United States. How is this money of the treasure gets into this account and this and damn made that kind of money? Where's this money coming from? You see, the market knows. You see, with our new market, people would say, well, I ain't investing in AI. AI within the market, stock market investment was one of our greatest survivors that help us count the money across the globe with market against the market across the globe to keep up with the banks and the banks across the globe. When the bank decided to take someone money, and you got to go back and look at it.
What's the point? The data starts turning lower. What's the point? The point that a lot of people feel is that
You got to understand what I'm saying. I don't know no easy way to try to break it down when your head is talking.
There's a conversation right now on the other side, and Lisa alluded to it, about
when
inflation
you
reaccelerating. We'll see. Yeah,
conversating stock market conversation, and you know, man, it's hard to bump head with them big heads. You know, it hurts. It really hurts. Bumping head with them big hurt, and they be talking all this mathematics stuff and all this account. And your mathematics ain't been that good, but you understand what they saying, and you don't really want to go there. I mean, look, hold up. I got a small brain. Can you break it down for me? What you're talking about, please? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to keep it down, because sometimes I get ahead of myself, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to give you the answer, and I don't want to give you too much. I want you to learn and invest into yourself and understand how it works. So when your bank tried to cheat you or take money from you, and the market start telling on them, you can understand why the market, on the data check, how much money they've been making, and the reason why it's counting down and where it's going up, it's about to start all over, because it's under red and it's under high of the amount of percentage that they're going to have to pay, because it's already under zero. Trust me, baby, it's already under zero. And once it's under zero, and that portfolio still haven't got paid yet, until he get paid, then you're going to see then you're going to see the difference. But they still going to have some years to pay, understand? But understand, you can still make some investment, because by the time that taxes or whatever comes out, you better hope so anyway, because it depends. It all depends how the market moves, because nobody controls the market. Nobody can fix the market when the market is not broken. The only thing a person can do is make the right investment.
But the U.S., is the U.S. trying to have a better relationship with China? And if so, what was
the United States been had a better relationship with China? Go to Chinatown. You see all them Chinese people over there? They spending Chinese money among each other in the United States. Okay. They send their money and put it in China Bank for a higher rate for China. Okay, they also take American money from the United States. Why they using their money among each other in the United States, and take American money and send it over to China and put it in China Bank and put it into their bank account. Now they got American money and China money from American transfer on the stocks of the market of investment into the bank. So they got a whole lot of money under the stock, in investment, in the trade, in the chips of their clothing, shoes. They get a whole lot of shiny stuff from China into China, imported into Chinatown. Even these weeds in the corner store, these black women be buying, and the brothers be going to the Chinese store, want some chicken wings, or whatever, steak, Apouillon, whatever they buy, China making a whole lot of American money. So they don't need to be mad. They need to just get with the program and get ready to be broke in their bank account, because they have a whole lot sharing in the United States. They've been sharing in the economy under the stock. Understand what I'm saying? You understand, do you? Don't act slow. Come on now. Work with me. I'm trying to break it down to you the best way I can. I can't go no further down. Well, let me get a break. You see what it costs? See what they do?
55 people are confirmed dead. 1,000 remain unaccounted for in the small seaside town that has largely been reduced to ash and rubble. The blaze is 80% contained, according to firefighters. Now, Tom, that is the only piece of good news here, that this one is just about contained, because the pictures are pretty shocking.
I'm going to let the experts tell us here, but it's got to be about the new drier world. You see it in the Mediterranean. You see it in Spain. We met with a Spanish finance minister. Why is this any different? It's a new drier world. It's a different Maui.
The implications, though.
Yeah, because that don't ring on the market.
Center, right?
Because the market don't deal with black market.
Now, this is going to take $8 to
We
$10
count
billion
money.
of
We
both
count
damages and economic consequences.
right.
To one of the main
That's the
hubs
word
of
I was looking
issues.
for.
And this really raises a long-term
Envelopment.
question
To make the
about
world
why, but
better,
also
not
on a larger
destroy it.
scale, other places that are devastated
Because
Massive rebuild.
them bombs and bullets and death cost money. And when the economy is in trouble, where's you going to get the money?
After nearly
Understand what I'm saying?
Set to leave for Germany.
Yeah, like you said, the medical bills, yeah. Where's that all that coming from when it's economy is in trouble?
You tell me, John.
You know, it's not really bad. It's just the money belongs to a portfolio that the bank discriminate against, and now the bank have to pay for that. Understand?
All the players involved in this, with the exception of one man, Daniel Levy.
I showed
To
you
do this going into opening weekend for the Premier League
my
on
documents
the
on
is
Facebook.
absolutely shocking.
Okay, I'm not going to keep showing it.
To lose your best player with no time, very little time left in the transfer window ahead of a new season, to replace him and think about rebuilding the team, because this isn't a man who just scores goals, Tom. He's a guy who drops back, and you've seen there, you've been to White Hart Lane and witnessed the game. Drops back. There's a lot of work in the build-up.
What happened?
Yeah.
His bank came forward to support his company.
This guy's what you call a striker, which is the guy up front scoring the goals. But the magic that
wow. I said like the old folks said. Wow.
Help the middle of the field begin to create space.
How do the Jamaicans and the Africans say?
Tom Brady.
How do they say? Hey. Understand what I'm saying? Hey. You know what I'm saying?
That's ridiculous.
Hey.
I think what's important here, Lisa, is we need
hey.
coverage.
How do you say it? Hey. That's how the Jamaican and Africans say. They go, hey. It'd be so funny. But an American black, we said, damn. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We get busy. Like, what the?
It's sort of like maybe,
you know, like we go to pieces. You understand what I'm saying? That's just like saying they say, okay, we're gonna take Raider off your internet because you curse on it. But guess what? How is you gonna take Raider off my internet or YouTube because of my language? When you put your money in the bank and the bank is in trouble, and under my portfolio is one of my idols in my portfolio. That's just like you suing your own self. How you gonna sue your own self? And if anything, that nobody, you know, some things is private because of a certain amount of money. But understand, if you ain't gonna help a person, but try to charge a person, you're charging yourself. You understand? Understand how the market works. The market works for you. You see what I'm saying? The market is not gonna discriminate against you. You understand? So if I decided to, in my portfolio, and you putting your money, investment into the bank, and in my portfolio that the market is showing in my portfolio that where you putting your money, the only thing that's going to do is make it high for you, and the needle going to hit it right on the knot where, hello, this is one of that old money. How you going to call yourself Sona? Oh, that's his video. I mean, you can have a video making anything you want. What about the sex slave trade? Oh, but they putting all this sexy stuff on the video, and they trying to, you know, you see what I'm saying? So you can't judge a person for what they do when they're not doing what they need to do. You see what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? And you might say, oh, well, that's a private line. But no, understand something. It's still a video, baby. It still was under the internet investment. It still is in the portfolio. So let's make no mistake. Your money is still going into the bank. The bank
versus the rest of
is under red flags. It's under fire with the market. The bank owed the market a whole lot of money, and the market is collected. I don't care if you're a movie director. I don't care you're a writer. I don't care you're a filmmaker. I don't care you're a makeup artist. The market is going to collect its money, baby.
It's useful for us as a firm. I guess operationally and kind of finding our clients that I think economically the kind of prosperity of the whole country matters and is important for the, I guess, longevity and the sustainability of growth in a number of economies. So I guess it depends whether you're thinking from a macro perspective or a micro perspective on that issue. Just broadly, people are talking about this soft landing on a global basis, albeit much more in the U.S. than in the U.K., although growth coming in stronger, even amid some of the inflation. When you take a look at the forward drivers of inflation, and I think increasingly about oil as demand reaches new record highs, food as the prices keep ticking up, are you in the camp that we could see a reacceleration that people are shrugging off and really not counting on? Yeah, I think we're looking really closely in the US in particular. You know, we've been very focused on kind of core services inflation.
I can't wait till they get someone on there trying to lie.
The Fed been kind of focusing their attention to. And that was one of the things that I kind of noted from yesterday's inflation data. Although the aggregate kind of top line numbers came out in line with expectations, one of the things that we saw was some of the core services, in particular recreation services and education services coming out kind of much stronger than they had in June in terms of the month-on-month prints. And so there's definitely pockets within that kind of services sector which we're concerned about. I think the other element that you've kind of mentioned there is around kind of the headline pressures, thinking about energy prices, food prices. On the kind of energy price side, we're seeing this kind of summer boom almost in kind of commodities, in kind of oil prices.
Changing
and that's
the rules in the
to
game.
kind of increased travel.
It's about
kind of,
investment.
I guess, less.
It's like
less of the view that
playing poker.
Maintained, I guess,
you dealt your hand.
That the economy will begin to slow.
You decided to raise
kind of slipping off again.
the state.
The other thing that I think we've seen
as someone else
decided
to stay low.
Kind of natural gas prices.
But that low hand beat.
Gas reserves have been kind of built
you
up
lost
in the
all that money because you raised
given some of the kind of effects
now,
of the Russian
you
invasion
playing poker.
But
you
we
raised
see kind
the
of
state.
news of strikes in Australia.
Everyone else, some raised, some copped out,
effect of that through kind of
some stays in with a little money.
Quite quickly
they have to raise the state.
I guess some of those fears abating.
So the higher state bid,
that, there are risks
the lower amount of money
still on inflation.
Now you have to pay that high state
where do you have more
because
confidence that we've
you
seen
don't
peak rates?
have
The Fed,
that money
the Bank of England, the
that
ECB,
you played that
where?
hand
I think
to the
Fed,
highest
likely.
That's
think the
why
inflation
I always say
dynamics have maybe shifted slightly in the US relative to what we're seeing in the Euro area.
Understand what I'm saying?
In particular, I think in the wage dynamic, we've seen a little bit more progress on kind of softening wage pressures in the US relative to the UK and the Euro area. So I would say, I think if I was trying to say where I think peak rates are likely to have happened, I would say that the Fed is most likely of those central banks.
Abigail, thank you. Come back soon. Abigail Watt of Aberdeen. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's good to see you. It's EK. Peak rates at the Fed potentially.
Yeah, Jonathan, you like that, ain't it? She came correct.
At the moment, they've got more work to do.
And the new overlay of this week and to contemplate into Q3 and Q4 is the idea of deflation. And there's some really interesting dynamics.
Understand what Tom said, because what Tom talking about is on a higher level.
The deflation overlay and all of our certitude about
is on
I am not
the stock market talk where he talking about
deflation. I am okay with that.
But he made it clear to make it understand where you can understand where we at, okay? So don't try to scratch your head what you don't understand what he's saying. Just understand what he's saying, that we on the right track, okay? That's all you need. He'll let you know. You know, he at a higher level. He's a news reporter, stock market, you know. His brain can't go so far down. So don't expect for him to talk down with you like I do. You understand what I'm saying? See, he up there with the big boys when they start talking all that marketing talk. You understand what I'm saying? Especially Jonathan, you know. See, when his parents put him in the corner, he made that corner his office. You know, that's what he does. But see, like Lisa, when she go to ask questions, they point to all around the room. She had to go all the way around the room. As far as time, and he asked a question, they had to pop him on the head, you know, like so he can get the answer. You know, that's how, you know, parents do. But like far as me, they're like, damn, that boy down.
Very much on what's developing over in China, or rather on what's not developing, Tom.
Understand what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you don't have, you know, well, you know, like our old folks say, wow. Like, that well went dry, Grandpa. Wow. But God said there's a well, there's a way. Your grandma said, well, your grandma, well, this went there, how you gonna tell me? Okay, Grandma, never mind. Okay, we got the message. Understand what I'm saying, you know. Nobody can tell you better than black people. That's why I don't understand why so many of them don't understand the market. Hell, they was the market during slavery time. Well, that's just the way it is. The white man done beat it out of them. Hell, they lost control of their brain. You know, they brain ain't anymore. So fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Another developer in China, Country Garden Holdings, which was bigger than Evergrande.
Is it bigger? I didn't know that.
Yes, it is trading as a penny stock now on
See,
the Hong
she
Kong
go all
Exchange.
around the house,
it's been downgraded
asking her
to
sister and brother and her papa and her mom, they just point her in a direction. Get out of my room!
Against his bondholders and paying back particularly the interest payments, the coupon payments to the people who hold their debt. But this raises a question. No one cares in the U.S. Why is that, given the fact that this is an even bigger developer? Have people written it off? And have we really divorced the U.S. economy that much from China? It's really what I'm getting at, Lisa. I think we're on the same page. There is a comfort, to some degree, with what's developing over there. Not my
China is like little brother and big brother. I mean, come on, look at the Chinatown in the United States.
I'm looking for China to open up, and they obviously opened up.
You understand what I'm saying? They got their own whole town. Money transferred, the money in China hand, in American.
Do you know how many people said the same thing to me? Tons. After you said it, they went and checked. I know, I checked too. I didn't believe you. And then you were right, and I was kind of shocked. Not that you were right, but just that, you know. No, it's all right. That's on the record, Lisa.
And they think they not supposed to be hurting. What bank they putting their money in? Is it all Chinese bank? If they in the investment, oops, it's gone. The market is going to collapse.
6 hours delayed. And I have 2 flights. I have a flight to Paris I look at just as a benchmark to Europe. And I just look, Lisa, conventionally at New York to LAX. And I look at Google, and they got the little red and the green and the yellow stripy thing about where's the value. In 1700 business class right now, or 2000 is what Google calculates, is actually pretty attractive. We're getting over to the green side. That's almost a legit price. A lower price of New York to LAX.
Legit price.
Yeah, you know why?
Deflation,
because it's only one portfolio.
Everybody said, no way, we're not buying it because it's not what we're seeing. George Ferguson covers the airline industry for Bloomberg Intelligence. George,
because it got to start back over. The market got to count. The market got to collect the money. It got to let it fill up. I mean, it's like when you out making money and you put your money in the bank and you waiting for a certain amount to build up before you start spending. That's all it is doing.
I think we've said that for a while, though, so maybe they're not starting to run out of gas. They are running out of gas. Some of them are. Which is taking demand down, and business hasn't really returned, right? Not in full force. We're seeing it 65 to 75% of what it was pre-pandemic, and I think that's the dynamic here behind airfares coming down. I think it continues.
I want to push back a little bit because if you look at the CPI, it really is based on domestic fares. When you take a look at where people are going, it is international. That has been what's fueling the profitability. And those prices, if Tom Keene's gauge of flights to Shanghai or any
But you see, the good thing about it,
so at what point are we
they are so lucky.
about deflation
It's only under one portfolio. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it was under 1,000 portfolio of the same? Then you would have had a problem. But they having a problem with just one because the bank broke the contract of a portfolio of investment in the stock market. So what are they telling you? Learn how to make the right investment, because when you start making investment and the bank doesn't pay somebody and you make that investment at the wrong time and say you get your money, that's cool, but it might come out 3 or 4, 5 years under the rate hike jump, but you're going to have a higher tax to pay back. Yes, you will. And whichever under that portfolio or that item that you invested in, that tax is going to come out.
So I think there's probably a lot less tickets to sell, and that probably hangs in there for most of the year.
George Ferguson, you're expert on the actual planes and the engines and all that. I saw a wonderful Big Jet TV YouTube video yesterday of an Air Canada 747, which had been repurposed as a cargo jet. Is a lot of that going on? The efficiency of the George Ferguson world? Is everybody repurposing airplanes for the new Ferguson aviation era?
Yeah, because it's easy to carry
I don't know if it's the Ferguson aviation era, but I like it. I would say that a lot of airplanes were repurposed into cargo during the pandemic because cargo was so hot. Air freight rates have come off very dramatically since then. I think you're going to see a lot less of that. Lufthansa, big operator in the logistics world, earnings, their 2Q earnings in logistics down 90 plus.
That's going to be good. You know why?
Yields are really, air freight
because with that really come down. Tanker,
getting back to normal,
when
getting back to pre-pandemic levels,
that fuel is moving around in that air tanker, and then the wind and the mile and the height, you understand what I'm saying? That's cost money. Which bank is supporting that? You see what I'm saying? So this is where the money coming from. It ain't coming from the consumers or the small people that they worrying about with the credit and all this jumbo bumbo what they trying to consume that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. See, the market tackle the money of the wealth of the investment where it comes from. Understand what I'm saying? This is where the percentage, and if they don't pay into the bank or something wrong with their account in the bank, and the bank have to take a percentage out of this company, and the market gonna say, well, I'll put that under the death certificate what you owe. This is how the market works. Understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to break it down to you the best way I can. Because when they start talking market talk and you don't understand what's going on, this is the best way I can break it down to you. Understand? Because they have to put their money into the bank. And when you got air tankers, that's good money. And the market going to take that money because that money don't belong to the bank because they invested into the bank. And the bank invested in the market, and the bank have broken the contract with the market. So, okay, let's see what happens.
I'm jaded. I grew up with academics. The summers for free form.
Yeah.
3 months off.
Yeah, they ran you all around the house. You asked too much questions. They ran you all around the house.
Maria Tadeo does it so much better than we do.
Where is
I
Maria?
can see.
Exactly.
Tom getting popped all the time in the head.
Of John Hancock Investment Management coming up next.
Here you go. Jonathan They just put him in the corner. He made it his office. Hey, I'll get back. I'm gonna make this real short.
It's hard to see where this
You know what I'm
recession is
saying?
going to come from.
We're going to be in this 3 to 5% inflation environment for the next 3 to 5 years.
Hey,
I do think that there's probably a little
this
bit more
has been
disinflation in
a
the pipeline.
Timothy
I think it's
Green
appropriate for the Fed to take a
investment
pause
stock
here
market
see.
and
I'm so
bond
convinced
school.
inflation's going to get down to 2%
And I'll
on
get
its own,
back to
with
you
or without any help from
with
the Fed.
more.
This is Bloomberg Surveillance with Tom Keene, Jonathan Farrow, and Lisa Abramowitz.